Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's going to be an all drugstore makeup look. So this is how the makeup's going to look. And I do want to say I apologize for not putting any videos up lately. I've been super busy and I just moved. So hopefully next video is going to be an apartment tour and fall decorations and all that good stuff. So I apologize and I hope you guys enjoy this video. We really like this primer. I've actually been using it for like 2 weeks now. I feel like it covers the pores and when you put your makeup on, it's like nice and smooth. So I just added that on my chin, forehead, and nose area. That's where I have like the large pores and I want that to be like nice and smooth. So now I'm just going to be using the Maybelline concealer in color medium. I always like to use the same color as my skin tone before I start my eyeshadow. Now I'm just going to be using the Milani 140 Rose Revenge eyeshadow. As you guys can see, I did break it. That's my fault because it was in the Ulta bag and I accidentally put it on the floor way too hard. So it did break. So I'm going to be using the third eyeshadow right there from the Milani eyeshadow, which is like a very light pink color. Also, the eyeshadow are super creamy, like barely any fallout and super good. It was my first time using this Milani eyeshadow palette and I really liked it, you guys. So I definitely do recommend if you guys want to use it. They also had different colors, like darker colors or colorful colors, but I wanted to go with a pinkish purple color. So that's what I'm going to be doing. Now I'm just going to be adding that fourth eyeshadow. It's like a darker pink, a little bit burgundy over the eyelid. But I'm still leaving that light eyeshadow on the top. So yeah, I'm just going to add all that. And for this eye, it's the same thing. I already did the first light color. So now I'm going with that dark pinkish color all over the eyelid. Also, I do want to mention that you do have to keep adding the same color in order for it to be intense, but not as much as other palettes. Now I'm going to be going with this dark, brown, burgundy eyeshadow just at the end of the corners of the eyes. So I do keep adding that same color over and over just so it can be a little bit intense. But I didn't add it too much because for some reason I'm the type that doesn't really like to have dark eyeshadows on myself. But if you do keep adding it, it will be more intense and I feel like it might probably look a little bit better if you do keep adding more. Right here, I'm still adding that same color, just a little bit on the top of the crease. Just going to be cutting the crease with the Maybelline concealer. And for the Maybelline concealers, I actually always have been using them since I was young. I actually would only wear concealer and mascara when I was young, literally. But yeah, you guys, I'm just going to be using that for the cut crease. I wish I added a little bit more, just keep adding it a little bit more since the colors were a little bit dark, just so the color that I'm going to be adding now will be more intense. But yeah, the color that I'm going to be using for the middle of the crease is that shiny pink color. It has a little bit of spark. I'll probably next time use a setting spray so it can be more intense. So as you guys can see, it's very light, not too glittery at all. Now I'm just going to be using those two light colors and mixing them to blend the eyeshadow. Now I'm going to be using the Ardell lashes. I actually only use Ardell lashes just because they're not too expensive and they're really good as well. So now I'm just going to be using the Maybelline Fit Me since I finished doing my eyeshadow. I always like to do my eyeshadow last if it's going to be an intense eyeshadow look, just in case if there's any fallout and stuff like that. So yeah. Now that I finished putting my foundation on, I'm going to be doing my eyebrows using the NYX Micro Brow Pencil in color Ash Brown. I always do my eyebrows after putting my foundation on, and I forgot how good this brown pencil is, you guys. Like, super fast, and the color's like perfect as well. It's not too dark, not too light, since my eyebrows are not too dark. So this is like perfect, the color Ash Brown, you guys. Now I'm just going to be using this NYX Wonder Stick Highlight and Contour Stick. I'm going to be going with that light color for under my eyes just to have it a little bit more coverage before I add the other concealers. So I also like to add that like any areas where I like to be a little bit bright and more coverage as well. So now I'm just going to be going with the Maybelline concealer for my eyebrows because I always like to go with same color as my skin tone, or at least closer to the foundation color, so that way it looks a little bit blended and not too bright when I do my eyebrows. Now I'm going to be going with the Maybelline Color Medium for the under eyes, just for a little bit more coverage. And then I'm going to go with the Maybelline Light Concealer, just so it can be a little bit bright as well. It looks like I do add a lot of concealer under my eyes, but trust me, it's not. It's like perfect. The concealers are not thick at all, so it's like perfect to keep adding more as you want. Especially if you have dark circles, but if you don't have dark circles, just one time will be enough. Now I'm just going to be using that contour side, which is like the darker brown side, to contour my face. I also do recommend this NY stick, you guys. It's super creamy and blendable, and also the color is like perfect. It's like a light brown, but not too light. It has like that little warm tone as well. Now I'm just going to be using the Maybelline Shine Free Loose Powder in color Light. And I'm going to be using the sponge, but I'm going to be honest, I actually don't really like the little sponge. It's too stiff. So I don't know if there's other little sponges that you can use that are not too stiff. And I did add this powder basically all over my face just because I'm very oily. So if you guys are not oily, I wouldn't recommend having it all over your face like me. I just like this to be like a little bit matte. Now I'm just going to be using this Wet n Wild bronzer in color What Shady Beaches. So I actually really like using this bronzer, you guys, but my first time using this Wet n Wild bronzer. The only thing I don't like is a little bit too warm. Oh yeah, and sorry you guys, I totally forgot to freaking record. I don't know why I forgot to like press the recording button, but as you guys can see, it's super intense. I actually forgot to like take some powder out before using it, because I always, like do that little tap tap like before adding any powders to my face. So yeah, I would definitely recommend not to add too much of that bronzer just because it's super intense, but at the end I do blend it. So now I'm just blending the bronzer with the same brush, but it just doesn't have no bronzer. I took off and cleaned it a little bit just to blend it. Now for the blush, I'm going to be using the L'Oreal True Match blush. And I actually forgot to record it again. I'm sorry, you guys. But I freaking love the blush as well. It was my first time using it. It's super intense if you do like keep adding it. But the like the color was just perfect. It's like a baby pink. Like, when you're blushing. I feel like that. You see, like I'm liking that. I'm like, wow. Now I'm just going to be using that Maybelline powder again just to like clean up the bronzer and blush. I always do that with the other powders as well whenever I finish doing my makeup. And then I blend it at the end so it won't be too harsh. Now for the highlight, I'm going to be using the Wet n Wild highlight in color Golden Flower Crown. The highlight was my first time using it, and it was actually really nice, you guys. Like, it's super, like, you guys see that shine right there? It's so nice. You do have to keep adding it just probably like 3 times, and it's perfect. It's like a little golden color, like that sun look, like super natural look, you guys. And for mascara, I always use the L'Oreal Paris Telescope. And for the eyebrows, I'm going to be using this e.l.f. Clear Brow and Lash Mascara. I actually really like this, you guys. They leave the eyebrows like super nice and stiff. Like, they do not move at all. Usually my eyebrow will be like kind of oily at the end of the day. But with this, my eyeshadow does not move at all. Like, trust me. And then I always use this e.l.f. makeup mist and setting spray. I really like it, you guys. I feel like it does leave your makeup stay all day long. For my lips, I'm going to be using this matte lip liner in color London. I really like this. It's super creamy and blendable. So this is the final result. I actually love every single product that I got. The eyeshadow was super creamy and blendable. Also the blush and the highlight, the bronzer, everything was perfect. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video.